What did we spawn here? Oh, that's right. That's right, because I died too, remember? We both died, so we're like, fuck it, we'll just go quit and finish it later. Oh, god damn it, I have to make everything all over again.
Jesse Brown, you said puddled water tastes better than our coffee. Thanks for your feedback. Because of people like you.
Yeah, you gotta keep drinking water.
Locally roasted, freshly ground beans. Now crafting our coffees deliver rich, velvety smooth, better tasting barista coffee.
Somewhere else.
Now available at Hungry Jack's.
Yeah. Yeah, so what we could do is run to the house. Run to the houses, right? I just fell off the cliff. Let me put my light out. Yeah. Right. Walk up to it. Fuck off, cannibals. We can't leave. How are we gonna deal with these chainsaws? What are we gonna do with them? We can't leave the chainsaws here. Let's go to sleep. Oh, we can't go to sleep. God damn it. I need the chainsaw. Bitch! Die, bitch! Oh! Oh! Bitch! Bitch! let's burn the bodies. Burn the bodies for. I've got one here. You can have that body. Hang on, I'm gonna turn your brightness up. Turn your brightness up. Rabbit. Oh. No, go away, woman. Come here.
Get the bunny rabbits. Get the bunny rabbits. Cook them and eat them. Make rabbit stew.
Hang on.
Curry rabbit stew, yum.
He suspects the man may have a bleed in his brain, so he sent him off to have a CT scan.
How you not dead, bitch?
The results come back, and Dr. David's suspicions...
Ah, she is. No, she is. Yes, you are. Okay.
We have spoken with our neurosurgical team here, and they will have the team and
we've got 2 bodies now.
assess the need for further investigation.
It's midnight in King's Cross, and paramedics Suzanne Collinson and Matt Nichols are doing their regular party patrol. They get called to a nightclub where one reveller has collapsed on the dance floor with excruciating pain in his knee.
No.
Neil is obviously in a lot of pain, but he's more concerned for Matt, who has the task of removing his shirt after a night of sweaty dancing.
We've got a gentleman who's just arrived after
Yes, I'm by. I'm not. I'm cooking some arms, legs and feet if you want some food. See, look, I got another body. I cut her up, look. I cut her up.
Neil's painful predicament doesn't get and the way
Yeah.
of his impeccable manners. Dr. Kathy's in.
If we don't need them all, I'll just chuck them on the rack. You just hold X. Like that, see? You eat them. See?
He's obviously had a few drinks and he's a little bit disinhibited, but he's behaving
Run into the building. Run into the building.
jokes. It's not a management issue, a behavioural problem, which is, good on a Sunday night.
Don't you go live like I do. Don't you go actual live. Why don't you go live? Like, it makes it much easier. Just automatically posts when you do it.
And you've done it before, how many times?
That's weird.
The last time he did it, he actually put it back himself, which is, not really recommended.
I know, but
Probably see a medical officer and get some advice about that. Can you show me where you've got the pain?
not really. If you get bad people, like if you get people like mouthing and shit at you, like you can just automatically block them, like.
The possibility
Or if you got people like calling you trash, you don't know how to play games and shit like that, you just block them from your YouTube. And if they make another account and just keep doing it, you just pretty much just keep blocking them until you obviously get sick of it and end up calling up YouTube, and the YouTube will do something about it. Yeah. But I never got any negative feedback. I don't think anyone called me shit or my YouTube channel was terrible or nothing like that. I don't think, like, most of my YouTubers like my YouTube video. Cause I actually express myself, yo.
And he's still in there.
Except for one person who doesn't like my YouTube channel for my family, remember?
Who, your mum?
My brother Max, remember?
Oh yeah.
He fucking hates your channel.
I don't know why. Everybody's a critic. Everybody's a critic. Everybody hates me. I love it.
In terms of when
Thank you.
we've always got to think about how much he's got on board or any other substances, just to sort of have in the back of your
Well, I've got the chainsaw back. I've got most of my stuff back. I just got to keep going to get my stuff back.
Kathy gets ready to relay on his name. Neil is understandably
What do I need?
What we're going to do is give you some happy gas. Tonight, so it's probably a bit safer to give him some happy gas or nitrous oxide. It's easy to use, it's got short effects, and then manipulate it back into
Only
position.
2 sticks.
This is Kathy's first Neil relocation, so she consults registrar Dr. Dave Clark.
Just pretty much delete the ones you already uploaded.
Once he's relaxed, then we're going to put our fingers underneath the toe for the kneecap. Ready? Find where it is first. And kind of dig under, try and push it back, over and above, and back into its position.
That's fine.
Neil's aversion to swearing in front of women is about to be tested.
Right, all the notifications. Is that what you mean? The notifications. Ah, okay, yeah, I know what you mean now.
I have to get off mate.
Do ya?
Work in the morning.
All good.
So you stay put and we'll send you
Oh,
a
good.
picture and see what you've done to it. That's the next
I'll most likely talk to you tomorrow then.
and it looks like it's over where it should be.
I'll most likely talk to you tomorrow if you don't watch my video today.
Have a Zimmer splint, which immobilises the knee.
Nah, boss man.
He is, sober and we can send him home.
Ah, get him.
When
Get him.
do you think you'll be back on the dance floor? Never. Really?
I'll get this bitch. I got him. I got him.
I guess it's just more hassle than TV.
Seeing some guys get dancing too hard.
I finally got him. It was pissing me off.
Give me some
I had to pull the big gun out.
Are we done now?
We are done. Take care of yourself. See you later.
And it's a final round of thank yous from the politest patient in the ER.
Thanks.
Burn, bodies, burn.
Coming up, a cyclist brain is starved of oxygen for 40 minutes.
He might have had a brain hemorrhage, and that's why he's collapsed.
A skateboarder has a seizure after a major stab.
We need to find if there's any bleeding around the brain.
And bystanders attempt a rescue, Pulp Fiction style.
Bystanders.
From every corner of the nation, 100 everyday Aussies, ready to reveal.
Okay, 100. Who's an anti-vaxxer? Who's on team Harry and Meghan? Do you think the Olympics should have gone ahead? Results are... Harry and Tim just disagrees with you, Smith.
Andy Lee and Australia's funniest comedians in the blockbuster television purse.
How many millionaires live in Australia?
Say 30, and they're all fantastic. Gina Reinhardt, if you're watching, I will be your boy toy.
Asking the big questions that define the nation.
Do you guys like working from home? Yeah, that's because half of them aren't wearing pants.
It's time to find out what Australia's really thinking.
Who believes being a mum is a full-time job?
There's a lady with a baby in her arms right now. Who's saying
With Andy Lee. It all starts Tuesday after the lark.
Hey mate, just going to see how you pulled up. I don't know about you, but I'm still stuck from that palmy. And a few beers.
Yeah.
Good night though. How funny was Jack on down to shake head? That we reckon it's lucky dog and was the reason we kept getting up with the cat. What a joker. Such a good night, bud. Let's do it again next week for the game. Anyway, give me a buzz when you can, mate.
Do you want to change places? Change where we live. Give me a minute. Bye bye house.
Have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Calamari.
Bye bye house.
Let's make a Jack. Drink it through with dare iced coffee.
Is that funny on camera or is that an edit?
I want to feel exhilarated.
Huh?
Oh, what he died breaking.
Oh, did it? I just took his mate. I took his mate. Come and grab some of these arms and shoot. Oh, never mind, I'll grab them all.
You spot the difference between these Spectator's glasses? Yep, this pair has anti-reflective coating. You can get $50 off lens options like polarization with in-built cover, even without extras cover. Get a little extra on top before September 1st at Specsavers.
Everything just kind of, you know, destroying everything.
Yes, we shall not live here anymore.
baby sister.
Yeah, I know.
You want to come and meet me now?
A little bit obsessed.
There's a glass and a half.
No, yeah, but don't destroy the chainsaws. We're gonna come back for them.
Green and gold, Aussie, carrots, and pumpkin's called. And
Yeah, you get him. I'm gonna go look for a place to build.
Organic pineapple, parsley, pristine. Green, fresh ideas. Green,
No.
well-being.
Yeah, I know where the map is. I think we could also just build up here because there's like water source up here.
while St. Vincent's Emergency serves the inner city, it's
Just straight up.
is full of parks, pools, and recreation areas.
Where's the fun of that?
It's Sunday morning, and the first casualty today is on its way from a major city
But
park, less than a kilometre away.
I do.
Like, something with
The man appears to have had a cardiac arrest while riding his bicycle.
Well, where do you want it? I know, because let's go build over on that little island over on the other side.
Initially given one shot, but they evacuated.
There's like an island, like just across. We could also go build over there.
No return of spontaneous circulation so far.
Where we build our house, like straight across from there.
Be the team leader, while Dr. Matthew Duffy will be in charge of airway
I
management.
think so. I can go check while you wait here.
Come on, don't have to read
He hasn't had one, I just made it.
Hang on. Did you find?
I found drinkable water on this island. And also, if we didn't find drinkable water, by the way, I literally manslaughtered a alligator for no reason.
I don't know why she couldn't just give me a normal washing like the one I had.
Oh, calm down.
Instead of one of these ones with all these fucking gadgets and gadgets on it.
Where are ya?
That's the best ones to have nowadays.
What, the gadgets and gadgets? No,
Yo.
I manslaughtered an alligator.
What did the alligator do to you?
Nothing, I just built it.
Hi.
Anyways, so there's drinkable water over here, and we can get some fish from it. I already got like 3 fish.
A call comes in on the back front. Another recreational casualty
Drinkable
is
water.
on its
Wait,
way.
is the alligator still there? Let's see if I can. Yeah, I killed it like around here or something. I killed the alligator like right here. I just made it suck a kill.
Oh.
So this is drinkable water. But what we also need, we need to go to the island.
This is my house.
Extra roll Sandra swings into
What is
action.
your house?
The ER team get gloved and down there. The young man lost consciousness for 25 minutes, so they must prepare for the worst. Funny, a man who knocks out on 15 times the usual dose of duration.
Realize the address, which was 12 mils. Charlotte's voice.
I've had a deep voice since I was about 12 years of age. That was sort of when I started noticing changes.
Tormented by bullies. Now she's having the last laugh.
I'm a female. I don't need to prove to anyone.
Here, take this, take this, take this.
Hang on.
Take your home from ordinary to extraordinary with Vikeings makeover sale. Get 30% off your second item when you mix and match from our entire range. That's 30% off your second.
Can't carry it.
Be extremely nice.
If you've been thinking about university, now's the time to get started. But enrollments close on the 22nd of August. Find the right study choice for you, all in one place with Open Universities Australia. Explore online courses today.
Okay, drink, here, take this.
Hang on.
2 tender crisp chicken burgers, 2 Whoppers, 2 cheeseburgers, 18 nuggets.
Yes, this is my alligator.
Drinks for $34.95. Only at Hungry
No, it's my alligator. Go away.
Tazzy,
You meanie.
hard to keep on top of COVID. And there's extra things businesses and events are doing to help
Really, dude? Really,
So we're
dude?
doing it for a while, yeah.
Really?
You know, it's okay to
Why
ask
would
them
ya?
if they've checked in. Checked in? Yep.
You took the skin as well.
That are easy to access. Not sure whether your business or event requires people to check in? I find out at coronavirus.gov.au.
You like Chase.
I've got this Graham.
You literally like Chase.
Easier than over 100 cold
funny.
and simple dinner ideas. Homemade with 5 ingredients or less, ready in 30 minutes or less. How easy is this? There's a mix for everyone. Pork and noodles stir fry so they can be sauce per serve. Find the new What's for Dinner recipes online at Coles & Co. and in this month's Coles magazine. Can't take away. What's for dinner? Value the Australian way. Coles.
No,
Create your perfect factory. Buy off up to 25% off bathroom wear event. Up to 25% off all bras and bathroom wear. Pay 50% on sale and free bar tabs for $3.75. Choose Serenity and save the home on.
Oh shit, wanna come and save me? Come and save me. Come and save me. I knocked myself. I was cutting the tree down, the tree hit me.
It's from our baby sister.
well, at least I can get close
You wanna come and meet her now?
treatment during this.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Thank you, sir. Me killing myself? You're welcome. This is my wood. Go away, sir. Get your own wood.
ER team are standing
I need this for my
by
building.
young skateboard rider
Building a
is
tree
stabbed
house.
at the park.
This is David. David is 18
Break your own
years
trees to build your tree house.
I've got a smell salt.
Oh, well, too fucking bad now, it's on.
onto the concrete.
Just saying,
He's
what's
on
in
middle
the
region.
salt?
He was witnessed to have about a 5-minute LOC by multiple people there. In that time frame, he also had a 2-minute generalised seizure activity as well. Completely no memory of the event.
Those are all bands there.
Pain in your chest or your belly, your legs or your arms. So it's only in your neck, is that right? Yeah. We're just going to do a quick ultrasound of your tummy and your chest, alright?
While the team do an ultrasound.
But I'm building a campfire.
Raoul questions him about the pain in his head.
Any sign of your face doesn't feel numb? No. You can hear them? Yep. Yes. On that side?
The scan comes up all clear for abdominal injuries.
So we're just going to get an hot roll and then we can do a quick chest x-ray.
Okay, feeling down the back now. Is that alright? Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah.
I like this area.
The chest x-ray also turns up a good result, but the seizure is a real worry.
That means that there's been disruption of neurons in the brain, some sort of injury to them for a seizure to have occurred. So something has happened. From our point of view, we need to find if there's any bleeding around the brain. That's the main thing.
He questions David's friend, who witnessed the fall.
Well, he was skating, and then, I don't know, he must have hit a rock or something. He snapped, he tried to roll out of it, and then he hit the back of his head, and then he started having a seizure, and then called the ambulance.
You look like a cartoon character.
Wanna come and save me again?
Okay, so you don't remember.
Really?
Yeah, I'm in the pond, in my house.
And then being at the skate park and then
No, I walked in the campfire this time.
David goes off to have
Mhm.
a scan of his head. Meanwhile, back in triage, Kate is trying a less invasive method of
Ages, not ages, but not long at the same time. I'm nearly up to the half a skull. Yeah, in the pond.
What we'll do in that situation is we'll get you into one of our bays, give you some rest and knock you out, and I'll put you in my rest so okay. It's not a general anaesthetic, you'll still be breathing on your own, but you'll be sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Happy with that? We commonly see shoulder dislocations from people in the circle being challenged.
Fuck off, Cannibal! Seriously!
One good thing
Dr. Melinda Berry helps with the sedation process. Within minutes, Kate is popping Sion's shoulder back into place.
I made the cannibalism beer pump. And we tried to attack me. I literally had no food except for I asked if I something. This ain't really right.
While Kate waits for Sion to wake, David the daredevil skater returns from the CT scan. Raoul checks the results.
Looking okay. I can't see anything. He's got a bit of a hematoma outside the skull, but I can't see a fracture, I can't see a bleed.
It appears David has made a very lucky escape.
Mate, those scans look okay, but I need the radiologist, so those are the specialists to have a look at that. And then I'll come back and we might be able to take this far off a little bit later.
Next door, Sion has woken up and is heading home. But it's turning into a day of dislocations for Kate. Another shoulder is out of its socket thanks to a cricket match. It seems not all Sundays are rest days. St. Vincent's is a major teaching hospital. So getting the younger staff up to speed in the hectic emergency department is a priority. Today, Registrar Tim Stewart takes a young intern under his wing.
There are people here who
Me?
just freshly out of medical school.
None.
And they need a lot of coaching.
I've got none.
You read the textbooks all you want, but you know,
I'm gonna find
give you
some.
a limited amount of information, and you've got to apply that then to the cases that you see. The best way of doing that is learning on the job, and I feel like I've got something to pass on to more junior members of staff, and I try and do that as much as I can.
A call comes in on the back phone about a man who has overdosed on the party drug GHB.
But we just had 15 mil in the last 3 hours. So this is probably clear, over and out.
It's shaping up to be no run-of-the-mill overdose.
So the issue here, guys, is that a normal dose for GHB in a party drug scenario is about 1 mil or maybe 2 mils, so we've got 15 mils. And there's no antidote for GHB. It's essentially a general anesthetic, therefore the patient's going to be completely unconscious, not able to maintain their own airway. If he's taking all of that 15 mils all at once, I mean, he could drop his blood pressure, his heart could stop beating, he could stop breathing, he's almost certainly going to be unconscious and have a high risk of regurgitating whatever is in his stomach, and that's not good that into as well.
Later, paramedics arrive with a young patient.
Behind you.
This is a 33-year-old male standing on the street. He's been out partying throughout the night. Don't think he had any alcohol, but he has what he has witnessed 15 minutes.
Incredibly, bystanders attempted to revive him by injecting him with a shot of adrenaline.
Bystanders, what did they get? I don't know.
With so many folks on board, treating this unconscious man is going to be a challenge. Later on,
The worry is that if he becomes agitated, he'll go straight for the tube and pull it out, which could really do some damage to his vocal cords.
Next on Nine's late news, most of our nation's population on the east coast in lockdown. Live reports from every key area.
Ran out of petrol.
Stellar career of Australia's longest-serving news presenter, Brian Henderson. I'll be joined by Peter Overton to reflect on his mentor and mate. I'll see you shortly.
Never in the history of the block has anyone dared to shatter the rules and destroy the game. You won't believe what's about to go down.
Human beings or are we animals? Rude, rich, and snot.
Grow like a trash. They don't fight with pigs because you get dirty and they love it. Yeah, but you were the cause of it.
It's clicking the arrow. Bring your ladder out.
The block is the biggest game in Australia. This is the biggest cheating scandal in TV history.
Hey mate, just calling to see how you pulled up. I don't know about you,
Really?
but I filled up for that party and a few beers. Such a good night, but
Go away, Cannibal.
for the game. Anyways, give me a buzz when you can, mate. See ya!
Dinners are quick and easy. Some are cold and delicious. Some are all four. Make Friday night pasta night with San Remo.
Hungry Jack's new Outlaw Big Jack. Crispy bacon, barbecue and creamy peppercorn sauce. With 2 flame-grilled patties. Break the rules with the new Outlaw Big Jack. Prepare to do better, Hungry Jack's.
Goodbye, road beers. Hello, confidence. Volkswagen.
How close are you to finishing your log
From our baby sister.
89 more.
Later now.
glass for help in everyone.
Spring cleaning is a great way to rediscover a space in your house.
Flexi storage bamboo unit, only $39. Government rent, just $8.50.
When you find a competitor's lower price on the same stock item, you'll beat it by 20%. Shop at Bunnings wherever you are, whenever you want.
Says fast, then there's the fastest. Optus, Australia's fastest 5G. It starts with yes.
Furniture is the final days of our best of the best sale. It's your last chance to get the best pieces at the best prices with up to 50% off a huge range. So, you'd better hurry. Kmart Furniture. See you next Sunday. This program brought to you by Bluey and CrossFitCBD.com.
Go on. Go on.
The home of classic
Smooth.
in television.
A young man has been rushed into emergency
85 more.
after taking a massive dose of the party drug GHB. Bystanders attempted to revive him by injecting him with adrenaline. It's critical for the team to know exactly how much time has elapsed between the various medications the man has taken.
3 hours ago, he took 3 mils of GBH. About half an hour later, he picked up a glass that had more GBH in it, not realising it drank it, which was 12 mils. That knocked him off. That's when they're called triple ankle resistance.
Did we get X-ray?
They're coming.
No sign, no trauma. Unless
Said it was a licking cane.
he was...
They might have done a Pulp Fiction.
Maybe they're doing him a pneumothorax.
So, I mean, he definitely needs intubating from our point of view. But just the question is, has he got a pneumothorax?
Tell me we need the X-ray.
Yeah, I don't know where that
Hello.
adrenaline was given. You know, if they had been giving it into the chest, then certainly that would have punctured the lung all right.
Tim needs to check the man's lungs before he can safely insert a breathing tube.
A bad idea putting somebody on a ventilator if they've got a punctured lung and you don't know about it.
The X-ray shows
Okay, we'll put him on my house because I need him.
now intubate the man.
Alright, so blood pressure's good. So, happy with that one?
It's only me is 29. I need like 60, maybe 70 something.
Me, I only need 75 more.
Tim
And I'm done.
uses a kaleidoscope to position the tube. But keeping the man intubated causes even bigger problems. Nurse Karen Loring needs to secure his hands.
The worry is that if he becomes agitated, he'll go straight for the tube and pull it out, which could really do some damage to his vocal cords and things like that.
And that's not a problem that we're having at the moment, is that we're still requiring quite a lot to keep him under, and he's in that sort of no man's land where he's not awake enough to wake up, but he's not deep enough that he will tolerate the tube comfortably, so we need to give him more sedative and more anaesthetic and look after him until we're happy that he's emerged enough from his GHB overdose that we can then safely turn our sedation off and wake him up.
Yeah, you can have him.
It's going to be a while before the man regains consciousness. All they can do now is...
I like how we're both making like little different campsites.
He's pleased with his protege.
I like it how we've both got 2 different campsites.
A couple of procedures to do in terms of getting some access and taking some blood, and then she had to put down the
Yeah, same with mine.
stomach as well, and both of those were done perfectly and without any sort of complications and done very swiftly as well, so she's quite efficient.
It's a really good environment. There are a lot of great people down here that we can work with. So today Tim was just talking through doing our way, seeing how it's done, seeing the little techniques and the tricks and the trade that you pick up with experience. That's really valuable.
We see everything that comes in through the door, and you get, you know, patients who are mildly ill and moderately sick, and patients who are critically ill, and there's something to be learned from all of those patients, and I come to work every day and I always learn something new. So there's nowhere I'd rather be anyway. It's the best place in the hospital as far as I'm concerned.
Next time on King's Cross ER, a woman overdoses on a toxic...
Gonna need chainsaw petrol. Petrol.
Giants, late news as we come on air. More than half the nation's population is tonight under stay-at-home orders. At 8 p.m, Victorians went into their 6th lockdown. Earlier this evening in New South Wales, people in the Hunter region joined the millions in Greater Sydney in lockdown. South East Queensland's extended lockdown also firmly in place. We're going to take you across every development with our team of journalists from around the country. Let's begin in Victoria, a state in all too familiar territory tonight, lockdown 6.0. The settings are carbon copy of the previous 2 lockdowns, including the closure of schools. Premier Daniel Andrews saying there was no other choice after 8 new cases were detected, along with more than 30 exposure sites. To Elizabeth Moss in Melbourne. Lizzie, there's no guarantee this lockdown will end in a week's time.
Another body type.
There's absolutely not, Michael. We've seen that before in our previous lockdowns here. Those timelines just keep getting extended. As we know with COVID, there are certainly no guarantees with anything at the moment. Now, we did see people getting in one last drink before that 8 p.m. Lockdown came into effect, soaking up those last few hours of freedom. But of course, the advice from the Premier really was for people to stay home tonight. We know that restaurants were dealing with a number of cancellations. Some have told us they're already down thousands of dollars from the stock they've ordered that is going to go to waste over the weekend. The Premier has told us that more support for businesses will be announced tomorrow, so we'll wait for that. We also saw, just as lockdown was being called, a gathering of people protesting the lockdown in the city, blatantly disregarding when those rules came into effect, and there were a number of arrests there, which we should have more details on tomorrow. But Victorians have done this before, Michael. We know this well. In fact, we've done this several times now. We just have to hope that the contact tracers can get on top of all of those exposure sites and that we don't see these cases continue to rise over the next 7 days.
Lizzie, thank you for the update. More than 500,000 residents in the New South Wales Hunter region are in their first 2 hours of lockdown. 5 new cases in the region prompted authorities to introduce the same strict rules in force across Greater Sydney. Those orders to stay for at least the next 7 days. Jane Goldsmith is outside a hotspot shopping centre in Newcastle. Jane, concerns around that venue tonight?
Good evening, Michael. Yes, the number of exposure sites here in the Hunter continues to grow, including this popular shopping centre, Charlestown Square, behind me, which is now on the list after somebody with coronavirus visited 4 shops inside, including the Apple store last Thursday. Also today, a swim school at Thornton has been named on the exposure list. The good news, though, is that people are taking this seriously, with thousands turning out to COVID testing clinics today, and also this evening at Newcastle's John Hunter Hospital COVID testing clinics. Delta has made its way up the M1 from Sydney with 5 cases today in the last 24 hours. And it's believed the cluster was sparked by a teenager from Western Sydney who travelled up here to Blacksmiths Beach, to a party on Blacksmiths Beach, which is just south of Newcastle, on Friday night. Now, stay-at-home orders are now in place for 8 local government areas, including Newcastle, Lake Macquarie and Maitland. And Michael, we're again being urged to please get tested and, of course, isolate if you have any symptoms.
Jane, thank you. One of Sydney's busiest hospitals is feeling the immense pressure of the second wave tonight. 2 COVID patients were left waiting in ambulances outside Westmead Hospital on the same day the state suffered the deadliest 24 hours of this outbreak. To Bill Hogan in Sydney. Bill, just how long were these patients left waiting?
Michael, one was outside waiting with the ambulance crew for almost 7 hours. The other person was there for 4. That's purely because the sheer volume of patients in the hospital was too big to admit these people. New South Wales Health says they were treated properly and all care was taken, but the wait tells you the enormous stress our front line is under. Understandably so. There were 5 deaths in the past 24 hours in hospitals across Sydney. 262 was the number of new cases today. 45 were sick in the community. That only puts a greater burden on our already busy healthcare staff. Michael?
They are under immense pressure. Bill, thank you. Experts are cautiously optimistic tonight. Millions of lockdown Queenslanders may see stay-at-home orders lifted on Sunday as planned. Authorities are buoyed by today's case numbers: 16 locally acquired infections, just 4 of those out of the community, while positive. Let's bring in Rebecca Powell, who's at State Parliament in Brisbane. Rebecca, how encouraged is the Chief Health Officer about these figures?
Michael, Jeanette Young says that even she is surprised that we are so far ahead of the state's latest outbreak, but it is unpredictable. Tonight there are fresh concerns. A second student of Brisbane Girls Grammar School also testing positive to the virus. Now 9 News understands that she was in quarantine on Sunday, was out on Monday and may have been infectious in the community for the last 4 days. What that means for our list of exposure sites is yet to be clear. We are of course in a lockdown, so we're hopeful, but tonight that list has over 400 locations spanning 40 different suburbs. But there are more positive signs. More than 50,000 Queenslanders turning out for the second day in a row. That's a record number of testing. And if we keep those testing numbers high, our authorities say that that is the key to our lockdown lifting as planned.
I've been winning
on
non-stop.
Sunday. Michael?
Thank you. With
I've
every
been winning
major city
non-stop.
on the east coast in lockdown, there'll be no shortage of talking points at a milestone
Pretty
National
much.
Cabinet tomorrow, the 50th meeting. To federal politics reporter Rachel Baxter in Canberra. Rachel, what is on the agenda?
Vaccine incentives for Australians, Michael. Despite slamming Labor's pitch to pay people to get a COVID vaccine, the Prime Minister has expressed interest in other options like travel points. Ways of managing vaccine hesitancy will be a huge focus for state and territory leaders. As we've been reporting, with Victoria entering its 6th lockdown tonight, Premier Dan Andrews was quick to encourage younger people to take up the AstraZeneca vaccine, saying it is safe to do so. Although today there has been another blood clot death, a 35-year-old woman from New South Wales dying after an AstraZeneca dose, but the Therapeutic Goods Administration stresses the risks are still incredibly low. About 6.8 million doses of AstraZeneca have been administered across the country, with just 7 deaths linked to the vaccine. Since Sydney's outbreak, there has been more than 20 deaths from the virus. As for Victoria, Michael, residents there will be able to access the Commonwealth's emergency disaster payments from tomorrow.
Can the boy behind me?
Rachel, thank you. Well, as Victorians enter their first night of lockdown, they'll also be locked out of South Australia for a little while longer. Harvey Biggs has more from Adelaide. Harvey, authorities backflipped at the last minute.
Get away
They did, Michael. Authorities announced this morning that we'd be opening up to the western parts of regional Victoria, but that plan is now on ice. Our hard border remains up. It's been like that since Victoria's last outbreak, though the border bubble, that 70-kilometre buffer either side, will continue. Meanwhile, 2 Victorian men faced court here today, accused of a mini hotel breach. Our cameras there as police arrested the pair. Officers accused them of leaving their rooms and refusing to wear face masks after arriving from Melbourne without permission. Both did not apply for bail today. Will face court again later this month. Michael?
Okay, Harvey, thank you. We've seen a testing blitz in Western Australia after a miner returned a weak positive COVID result. Authorities say it's likely caught the virus at an airport during a brief brush with an infected passenger. The fallout of this case being felt today. For more, I'm joined by Zarisha Bradley in Perth. And Zarisha, does it look like the state will avoid a lockdown?
Well, fingers crossed, Michael. We recorded no new COVID-19 cases overnight, and that's the best possible outcome today could have brought. Airport CCTV has confirmed the FIFO worker likely caught the virus after walking past an infected traveller at the airport on July 20. Premier Mark McGowan said today, as far as he's aware, it's the only interaction that was had. 83 close contacts have been identified and are in quarantine, with more than 7,000 people tested since. But the list of exposure sites is growing. A supermarket, the biggest new hotspot. Qantas staff have been caught up in the airport hotspot, triggering the cancellation of 8 regional flights from Perth. Michael, it's looking promising. We'll dodge a lockdown here in the west, but we're not out of the woods yet.
Still a way to go. Zarisha, thank you. To Tonight we're looking back at the incomparable broadcasting career of Nine News great Brian Henderson, Australia's longest-serving news presenter. Hendo, as we knew him here, has died at the age of 89. I'll be joined by the current Sydney anchor, Peter Overton, shortly for his memories of Hendo. But first, this tribute.
In the years before TikTok, Facebook and streaming, there was Hendo.
Good evening. Postal worker.
Over 5 decades, Brian Henderson was the reassuring presence in lounge rooms.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Mum and Dad used to watch him on the news when they were alive.
They even made a song about it. Brian told me, Brian told me. Always Mr. Believe.
No, what are you doing? No!
Everything I need to know, 'cause Brian told me so. There was Hendo calmly taking us through the Vietnam War.
Vietnamese reinforcements are continuing to move north towards the Lang Son area, where a major battle may have already started.
The Challenger explosion.
That's what you can do. You can just start running up to it and start attacking it.
Guiding viewers through the tragedy of 9/11.
No, you just do what I do. Just run up to them and start whacking them.
And the triumph of Cap.
Captain Freeman thanks Australia for helping her make history.
Before the news, Hendo hosted Bandstand. Countdown in black and white. He dabbled in air guitar and a stab at singing.
Now I do not exaggerate,
but it was at the news desk where he found his fame.
This is News Centre 9.
The evening news. 30 minutes then, with Hendo at the helm.
On the 18th of January at Granville, a crowd of express trains from the Blue Mountains crashed in the most horrifying of circumstances.
Every bulletin, another chapter of the Australian story.
Australia Day 1988, the celebration of our nation's first 200 years.
The studio was where Hendo lived and breathed, where he came to life. And what he was doing was opening a door to the world, so reporters could tell their stories.
Well, in many ways so reassuring, you know, to have someone like Hendo at the other end of a live cross. I was in Kuwait City, mayhem had broken out, people were shooting in the air. He and I had just done a live interview. And right at the very end, you know, he paused a little and said, "But Robert, you have got somewhere safe to sleep tonight, haven't you?" And I think, well, that said everything about Hendo. He really did care.
And he was always ready to see the funny side.
I got my Philippus's pronunciation completely backslide up. I called him Mark Philippus. Hendo suddenly collapsed on the desk.
Sometimes all that preparation wasn't enough.
We're in the dark, but I'll continue. We'll put another shilling in the meter and then come back.
He had an impeccable delivery. And what about that voice? Everything, as far as Hendo was concerned, had
I couldn't never do.
The voice for almost 46 years. Then in 2002...
I couldn't never do.
I feel I know you after all these years. I know I'll miss you. Sitting here Monday to Friday, 6 to 6:30, telling you the news of the day.
Hendo settled in
So do I.
with his wife Mark. They married more than 50 years ago. It was a showbiz wedding.
He was also great fun. He loved the drink, loved the laugh. I think the Brian makes me smile. That is pretty good, maybe.
There was an encore performance to mark half a century of television in Australia.
But soon, the evening news would become part of our lives. The dramas and joys.
In 2014, Hendo spoke about his diagnosis of throat cancer.
Doctors have been very positive. I think I'm lucky. I really think I'm lucky. And it's an object lesson, really, in checking up on even the smallest thing.
2 years ago, Hendo's last public appearance at the Kennedy Awards. A gong for a lifetime achievement.
I am honoured and I'm flattered. After 47 years in a job that I love doing, which gave me so much, to be acknowledged in this way tops it all off.
So the one thing we always need is humility, warmth, integrity, generosity, and Hendo possessed all of that and more.
You know, I haven't even finished my house yet.
29th of November.
I haven't even finished my house yet.
Brian Henderson saying, not good night this time, but goodbye.
Mark Burrows, 9 years.
What are you doing?
Looking for sticks.
The man who now sits in Brian
I need a
Henderson's
never.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
No, I got them all.
What are your earliest memories of Hendo when you first walked through the doors?
I got them all.
No, dude, the
Good evening,
trees
Tomo.
around your
Great to be
base
on the
are
late news with
filled
you, my
with
friend.
sticks.
Well, my earliest memories actually extend before I walked in the front gates of
Things
Channel 9.
apparently you're wandering
They
off
were at
over
the
there to
dinner
get
table
sticks
as a
or something.
12-year-old, sitting round with mum and dad and my siblings, and we had a share at the
Let's see
table
how much
for
more sticks
Hendo
I
because
can
he
get.
was in our house every single night at 6 o'clock. He was in up to
Yeah, but we get
house.
different
So we
stuff.
had a million people watching him back in the day, and so that's when
You
I
can
suppose
see
I
different
first
stuff.
met him, and then I'll never forget meeting him in the studios of the old Channel 9 Sydney, the suburb of Willoughby. And I went up nervously and I said, "G'day, Mr. Henderson, my name's Peter." And he looked at me, he said, "Welcome, please call me Brian." And I can still visualise that moment, Tomo.
Oh, Pete, something you'll never forget. Now, Hendo, he was an incredible mentor for so many. What did he teach you about the craft and about life?
Well, as a newsreader and now sitting in his chair, I learned and absorbed so much from Brian. I think about authenticity, about being true to who you are, on camera and off camera, and about, I suppose, attention to detail. And
Be careful there's no crocodiles in there.
I strive for we work hard to be perfectionists because we want to get it right, and that was Brian's mantra. And you know, Tomo, every night when I do the news in Sydney, I think of Brian because he was huge on pronunciation. And he'd say, it's not Beijing, it's Beijing. And it's not Los Angeles, it's Los Angeles. And there's a whole book about pronunciation by Hendo. So he's always on your mind, my friend, when you're doing the news, because he was the master, the benchmark, and there'll be no one ever come to Brian Henderson.
Was that what set him apart, do you think, Pete? His desire to make
Got any
sure
petrol?
that he always got it right?
Got any petrol?
I think that was one of the
Or
things
gas?
that set him apart, Tomo. I think he was in a
Chainsaw
field where
petrol.
television was the only show in town, and for Channel 9, that was certainly the only show in Sydney. And
Yes.
set him apart.
Yes. That's what I am saying.
40 years plus in that chair, you know, viewers like
Yeah, I need some petrol. I've got no petrol.
hearing Brian every night, bring them good
I need petrol for my chainsaw.
And that bad news could be September 11th, it could be flood or drought or cyclone or
Don't know about it.
bushfires. And there was a comfort about having that Brian in your house every night.
The gas?
Knowing that Brian told
The gas what you picked up when we got the chainsaw? I need some of that.
Such a comfort about it as well. Now, Australians knew Hendo as the news. He was the news for me. What would you like viewers to know about the man behind the news?
Hey, can you come back with that? That's mine. I need that for my logs.
Devoted to his wife Marty. It was one of the
I need that for my logs.
enduring love stories.
For my house.
He was devoted to his daughters, Nick and Jodie.
And if you take it, I will kill you.
He's a beautiful family man. He had a beautiful sense of humour, wicked sense of humour, a glint in his eye, and
But you can have it afterwards.
even up until these last months.
You can use it afterwards. Because you know what you could do with it?
I go round to his house and he'd
You could put the cannibals' bodies in
had
it.
his notepad, Tomo, and he'd go through the book and say,
And
now,
you-
could add a bit of polish there, or what about that, or what do you think about that?
My house.
And you knew it was coming from his heart.
Yeah, my house ain't done yet.
And it was like what he was like in the chair, striving.
No, I'm gonna make the floor.
Peter Overton, thanks so much for sharing your memories of...
Yeah, no, not yet. I'm just gonna cut down a couple more trees and then should be enough.
Tomo, thanks for having me. Lovely to chat to you, mate.
My sleigh is filled with logs.
Described his shock after being accused of concealing his father.
Yeah, you can put rocks, you can put dead bodies, you can put
Told his son he had sexually abused a boy in the 1970s. Brian says he vehemently professes his innocence and welcomes the opportunity to set the record straight. He's now facing a trip back to Australia from the United States. His court date is on October 5. Let's take you to Tokyo now, where we've equalled our Olympic gold medal record. 18-year-old Keegan Palmer winning the first men's park skateboarding gold medal. History also in the 1,000 metres men's double kayak. Tom Green and Jean van der Westhuizen, claiming Australia's first gold in the event. In tonight's events, the nail-biting final between the Kookaburras and Belgium, going into a penalty shootout, our boys bagged silver after a gutsy performance, and the Matildas missed out on a bronze medal against the US. You're watching Nine's late news. We're on air right across Australia every Sunday.
I didn't do anything.
Night. Next, the Aussie Dolly Doctor, who's been immortalised in plastic, and the reason why is fantastic.
Television's best reveals are back. Wow. First night, Saturday, 7 o'clock.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Let's make it Jack. Drink it through with Dare iced coffee. Hungry Jack's new Outlaw Big Jack. Crispy bacon, barbecue and creamy peppercorn sauce. With 2 flame grilled patties. Break the rules with the new Outlaw Big Jack. The girls are dead Hungry Jack's.
Guys, again, bonus delivery on a huge range of cooking appliances and dishwashers. Bonus delivery on this Westinghouse cooker. Bonus delivery on this DeLonghi dishwasher. Bonus delivery on this LG cooker. And bonus delivery on this Westinghouse dishwasher. Pay less every day at the Good Guys.
Green, Keen. That's Eileen. Kareen, Irene. Which brand do you take? Green, apples, kids fruit free. Who wants one?
One. None. Yeah. Yeah, I've got cannibals afterwards. When you come and help me?
Hi, Nancy Fuller here with a 6-hour bowl. My new insulated bowl that preserves the temperature of your food for up to 6 hours. Keep hot food
Well, he's dead.
cold food cold.
Stays the perfect temperature for up to 6 hours. So it's perfect for picnics, barbecues, and any kind of get-together. And 6-hour bowl has a huge 2-litre capacity with a secure locking lid and leak-proof design. Buy online from Global Shop Direct. Also available at these leading retailers.
Yeah, hey Mum, could we get a lift, please? Thanks. Down the beach, where we go. Yeah, next to the
The world's juiciest scandal.
Who's dead? Wait, what?
Boiling point.
Nope. Come on.
Yes.
He's dead. He's dead.
Something is tonight being celebrated in a very unique way. She's being immortalised as a Barbie doll.
For frontline workers, life is lived in plastic, and it's not fantastic. I know a lot of
Yeah, I gotta change weapon.
particularly wearing their
You got him.
masks that are quite fitted and heavy.
They're the cave ones.
Toy company Mattel is recognising medical workers across the globe, turning inspirational women into Barbies. A doll of Pentagon's Dr. Kirby White.
Oh, my house is done. You can have that log.
Has been made. Oh, it's an incredible honour to be recognised as a one-of-a-kind doll by Barbie, especially with such an inspirational group of women across the globe. Her initiative, Gowns for Doctors, has
My house is done. Come and sleep.
reusable PPE gowns to about 750 medical clinics across regional Victoria after a shortage at the start of the pandemic. Dr. White was named the 2021 Victorian Australian of the Year, making her an ideal role model. It's amazing to see when people step up and how inspiring they can be, and the difference that one person can make. Six Barbies were made. Joining our Aussie hero is 2 frontline workers from the United States, one from Canada, the UK and Brazil. Each with their own story of heroism in the face of the pandemic. The dolls are all one of a kind. In support of Dr. Kirby White, for the next 5 days, $5 from every doll sold will go to Gowns for Doctors. So whether it's veterinarian or gold medal Barbie, the children choose the sale.
I found a cave.
Frontline workers. The dolls are designed to show children they don't need
Yeah.
to spend, because they too
Yeah.
have success, just like Dr. Kirby White. Maggie Rayworth.
Know what we do?
Nine News.
We are back with you shortly on Nine's late news. Still to come, Friday's weather plus.
So we just found a cave, guys.
With Chris Kohler and Scott Girls.
Let's do this. Right, what that little cave thing is means it's a cave. I marked it. so we know.
If it's a much more dangerous cave, I put it as red.
I don't know if it's dangerous or not. That's why I put it green.
Well, if it goes far deep down and it goes like for like 30, maybe 10, 20 seconds, and you haven't reached the bottom, that's a red cave. Like I've gotten this cave, so it probably is leading somewhere into the. It's probably very dangerous. Guys, I'm
Yeah,
coming
it
back
probably
to your
is.
house to gather some more, you know.
Sticks, not logs. There's some logs over here if you want them.
Okay. Yeah, are you gonna load them on?
Yeah, that's that was the only log I had.
Huh?
The log what you took on that was the only log I had. No. Do you think?
We received some great feedback at the open house, and luckily the high design paid off. We received an offer for $985,000. After closing costs and commission, we stand to make a profit of about $120,000. Time to find another house to play.
What is this?
Good,
I'm literally hitting him, and he's not
15 to 20 minutes out.
Okay.
Want to tell me a little bit about the house?
Where? There's
Right under 1,300 square feet. Not as much.
No, it's not bad. It has nice grass, has a pretty tree. It looks, I mean, it's old. It looks like maybe 50s or 60s.
Well, the seller's asking 500, comps are like 6 to 650, so if it's not like a complete dump, it might work.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and go inside. There's a lockbox here.
Alright, I'll be there in a few minutes. Bye.
Of course.
All dark. Living room's actually a decent size.
I hate this. I hate this.
The kitchen's actually pretty big.
So much. So I'm just trying to chop
Looks
down.
like this house has been broken into.
I'm literally going to die because of these stupid cameras that I can't get a break from this
No.
cave.
No. No. It's like a tinted bed.
Dude, you're still coming after me.
I don't really like going to these cliffs by myself. You never know if there's going to be like pests in here,
I'm coming.
or a structural problem, or God forbid, a person.
What are you doing?
I'm glad you're here. There's a lot of rattling noises. I think there's something wrong with the pipes, and the house just feels so old. There's like a tent with a mattress. It's weird. Like a tarp. I don't know.
Alright. Well, first just make sure no one's in there. Outside looks good.
Yeah, the inside doesn't.
Hello? Alright. Well, what's going on here? Wow, look at that original slider. That's a huge yard.
A lot of work.
What noise was it exactly?
It's like a rattling or like a tapping.
It's windy today and there's crap hanging everywhere.
Something fell.
Weird. I think it was vandalized actually.
It could be really nice once everything's opened up. It's so dark and creepy right
Well,
now.
yeah, look at the front of the house. There's huge windows. If we were able to get rid of this wall, it would be completely open, but I can almost guarantee it's low bearing. Is that laundry?
Underneath that mess is laundry.
Just a laundry room. That's a big space.
What was like happening?
That's what the file says. Gotta find Timmy. Or Jimmy or whatever the hell his name is.
It sounds like a water hammer. The water's catching air bubbles and building up pressure and punching against the plumbing. It can cause terrible damage to the pipes, so it is not a good thing to find. Hey, this is a good master. This is a brilliant.
Do you know there's a cannibal?
You know what? Someone's been sleeping.
There was a cannibal on my building.
It looks like it. It looks like people have been breaking into the house. Empty houses are a huge target for break-ins and especially theft.
Yeah, there was a cannibal on my roof.
There's this go.
That's the laundry room. It's kind of nice that it flows, but we probably gotta hit the door, of course.
Yeah, no.
And here, it's not a huge bathroom. We can make it nice
Yeah.
probably for like $8,000.
Need another 10, another
Floor is really fucked.
11 more.
You know that clanking sound we heard? Might be a plumbing issue here. I mean, that's what causes the wood floors to come up. It's got to be water.
Gotta get Chuck to check it out.
Sticks, not loads.
Bathroom. Redo the whole shower. We got to refurnish the window, new vanity. 8,000, 9,000. Too crazy.
Yep. No, bedroom's a good size.
Actually, this house has a lot of potential.
Has a lot of potential. I mean, stuff that's disgusting and dark as it is, but...
Be careful. Alright, so I know you're creeped out about this house, but family neighborhood on a cul-de-sac, nice layout, the house is going to be super awesome.
Not to mention the squatters are using the carpet as a toilet.
That's okay, we're going to get new carpet.
Dude, this is why you use your spear to throw it up, so then you, sometimes they don't just start running away.
I'll get this motherfucker.
Right
Come here.
That would be,
Come here, stupid D.
that does not include the plumbing. There's
Come here.
something going on in there, but we won't.
Whatever then, stupid D.
Okay.
Alright, I'll let you know if we get it.
Bye.
See you guys. Alright.
Well, a little higher than you thought?
About 15,000 higher than I thought. So the guy's asking 500. 80,000 rehab, 20 in closing costs, around there. If the plumbing causes issues and other things, that's another 10,000. Our break even would be about 610,000. The comp
I'll kill the D.
6 to 650. It's a really risky spot.
Yeah.
The guy
Get it.
seemed pretty laid back that I was talking to, the owner. We're just pump 475, all cash, fast close.
Definitely worth a try.
I'll let you know what happens.
I'll get a candle behind me.
The seller accepted the offer for $475,000. Once we closed, we removed all the junk that was left by whoever was breaking into the house. We've dealt with a lot of stuff over the years, so we're going to install some cameras to keep an eye on the house. And finally, it's time for demo. Dude, we got to get those countertops off. Hey, something's wrong, Jeff. That's a lot of water. Oh my god.
Campbell looked at something and said,
Hey, thanks for joining. How are you? Okay, that cannibal's gone.
Introducing Calming Heat, the amazing massaging weighted heating pad. Calming Heat's weighted pressure, gentle massage and light heating pad will help soothe and comfort any part of your body. The secret is therapeutic heat that's absorbed into the weighted clay beads, combined with massaging therapy all stitched in a soft, luxurious fabric. Plus, Calming Heat features one-touch control and automatic shut-off. Buy online from Global Shop Direct, also available at these leading retailers.
Create your perfect sanctuary with bundles up to 25% off bathroom wear events, up to 25% off all baths and bathroom wear. Ideally set the taps on sale and free bath tape to see the freestanding bath. Choose Serenity and save the home.
right now, he's...
Our revolutionary full leather jack belt makes a wonderful gift. Made by Vikeings is ensuring the perfect fit for men and ladies with a unique both from your belt, your way, go to jack.com.
Your life has been turned upside down by someone else's negligence. You may be entitled to thousands of dollars in compensation. Find out where you stand. Call Accident Injury Compensation Service on 1300 132 784. We have a team of expert solicitors that can determine if you're entitled to compensation fast. And if you don't win, we don't charge. So for friendly, obligation-free advice, call Accident Injury Compensation Service on 1300 132 784.
I've been using Wet and Forget moss and mold remover in my garden since it first came to Australia. There is nothing like the quality of Wet and Forget products. It doesn't contain bleach or chlorine and is safe to use on any outdoor surface. Now there's a rapid application, a ready-to-use version. They both work so that you don't have to. For a store near you, visit wetandforget.com.au or call 1-800-222-302. This program is brought to you by Acropolis Now and Crawford's.
Hey! Something's wrong, Jeff. Water! Oh my god. Is it off? It's off. Oh my gosh. See that? What is the bill? Is the issue here? So the water pressure buildup probably caused the pipe to burst. So we're gonna have to start tearing this plumbing. You might have to repipe it.
The six.
That's not good news on day one.
Get more sticks.
Once we get everything demoed, we're going to have to check the water pressure issue and check the rest of the plumbing. Hopefully it hasn't caused any damage to the rest of the house, because if I have to do a repipe, it's going to get costly.
Stupid stuff, so stupid.
Looks different. What's going on, you guys? What's up, buddy? Is that water a mess everywhere? This is line that got hit. That's it? Yeah, check it out, dude. Looks like they actually... I'll take it.
Well, that's great news.
I don't know where I'm
So
at.
let's figure out this kitchen, right? So,
Well,
we're removing this whole wall, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all going to be open. You're walking through the front door. It's going to be all open. So, this window. Right, there's a lot of light, but the only thing would be a lot cooler if you walk through the front door, everything's open, and there was like lowers, uppers with a really cool backsplash.
I think that the window takes up so much space that if we don't close it up, like
Okay.
really and so I think that
Me too, me too.
Okay, so here's another issue. If we put in new cabinets, they come out 24 inches. And if we put cabinets back here, they would zigzag.
Yeah.
So the only solution to get around that, which I hate to
Oh yes, I like your house.
better, is build out a wall here. So the whole wall's flush.
I see you building.
You guys are going to bring a wall straight across here.
I like your house.
And then this is just going to be nothing.
I like your house. Your tree house.
Okay, it's actually going to be pretty big space. How big of an island you can do without completely breaking the budget? You can go 6 or 7 feet.
Just chop down trees.
I would stick with 7. It's pretty big.
7 it is.
Good deal. Alright, buddy. Alright, we'll start getting holes open up. Alright, so now we have the big master
You
bathroom.
fucking...
We need laundry, we need to figure out layout. So yeah, thinking.
So now we have this like weird dead room.
Right.
But a huge master bathroom would be amazing.
Yeah. So you're saying you want to make the whole laundry room part of the master bath now?
Yeah.
So, shower here.
Yeah, come over near me. Come over to me.
Yeah, the vanity was right here, so we could do a double vanity right here.
Yes, yes there is.
Toilet right there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if we did come here, double the size of the bathroom, eliminated the side door. Yeah. What do you think that'll cost?
An extra $3,000 to expand it and close the exterior door. That's what the stucco patching and drywall.
So for an extra $3,000, we have a master bathroom.
If we put in $3,000, we would get more than $3,000 back. Expanding the master bathroom into the laundry room is an absolute no-brainer, because every single buyer loves a huge master suite. And since we moved the laundry to the closet in the hallway, it's a much better use of space. All right, let's do that. Blow the whole thing out and make a huge master bathroom. Sounds good. Big bath it is.
You have to put more rope on it. You have to go get more cloth.
Wow. Huge wall. And this is like the master bathroom of $1 million house.
Oh, yeah. It is. It's amazing. Okay.
So, that being said, we have to nail the design here.
Okay, so because the neighborhood is pretty traditional, I brought white shaker, but I also brought this more of a traditional style cabinet.
I like that.
Shower wall.
I feel like we're at grandma's house right now.
I like it.
We're now putting up grandma and
It's the real.
this I love.
This goes on the main shower wall, and then we could do either after Easter, Capcom.
I like this one back there. Sour can.
Stop hitting that.
This right here is beautiful, especially how it plays off this. So I like that.
Very nice.
And also really like
Can you come over and help me?
more traditional cap.
Yes, I need help. I've got 3 cannibals after me.
Replacing the wiring in the circuit box.
Be careful.
Alright.
Get that bitch, you're gonna fix my house.
Just really just disobey my... Just disobey my...
Hello?
I dare you disobey my... Never disobey my sweat.
Hello?
Never.
Hi, I'm Luke. I'm Josh.
Fuck off. Over here, need help. There's another one.
We are so much more than just a holiday. Simple. This is the love of the
Thank you.
Power XL air fryer oven. The full oven that can air fry 75% more than traditional air fryers. What's the secret? Our stainless steel airflow racks and 1800 watts of rapid air technology fries food with a whirlwind of superheated air for that great crispy fried taste and less calories from fat compared to deep frying. And here's the exciting news. Now you can air fry rotisserie. Imagine savory turkey breast, leg of lamb, and roast beef. But hold everything. The Power XL air fryer oven is also
What happened? Where are ya?
and proof. The Power XL air fryer oven replaces a deep fry, a rotisserie oven, a dehydrator,
How am I meant to get ya? You're on top of my house.
and a microwave. It features a state-of-the-art touchscreen with
Oh wait, wait, I can heal ya.
touch. You can rotisserie, dehydrate, air fry, roast, bake, use it as a pizza oven, grill, toast and reheat.
I'm cooking now.
The dishwasher safe, so clean up as a breeze. The Power XL air fryer oven replaces over 50 appliances, but you won't pay $1,500, not even $300.
Ah.
Call Global Shop Direct or go online now and get the
Hey, can you
Power
save me?
XL air fryer oven. There's a large stainless steel rotating mesh basket, a stainless steel rotisserie set,
Hello?
a stainless steel
Who?
skewer set with
You're not, apparently you're not responding. What?
including 3 recipe books, and the Power XL air fryer
Hello? Like and subscribe guys. And see you. Catch you guys in the next video.
Get the Power XL air fryer oven with the full